everybody, welcome back to Wappelville. Welcome back to some more Armada Mondays. This the last ship had 2 pieces. This has 3. Yeah, that's just the second piece right there, and there's a third piece over there. So yeah, we've got lots to do here. Holy smokies! So actually, I'm starting to wonder if I need to go more towards, say, something like a violet or something. That's I'm almost going in that direction right there. Hey there, Armored Wolf. Hey there, Landrest. Hey there, Ryan. Sorry this is so late. Just trying to get this thing ready. I actually had to print out, believe it or not, this thing only came with 8 ores. You need 16. So you have to. So I had to print out 8 more ores. And, well, I found out that those ores, they don't print very well. So I had to cut off the ores here to make them all the same length. That was pretty crazy. Also trying to figure out just what we want to do color-wise. I do have some references down in the corners over there. Do we go with just a regular wood color? Because, well, we already did ships with plenty of regular wood color here. Right, look at this thing. I mean, this one piece is 3/4 as long as the last ship that we painted. So this is going to be huge. We should be able to get a bunch of guys on there. That's for sure. So actually, I am starting to think more going towards a violet or something like that. That might be somewhat interesting. That would just be regular wood. Oh, and look at these. These are the masts here. So there's that. We'll be hitting those too. So again, I'm thinking more of a because just thinking with the elves that would go with this. Now what I did do with them is almost more of a teal type of a color. So I'm wondering, should we stick actually just like a phthalo green type of a thing? So I think what I'm going to do is try to hit the areas that I think are more generic. This, I didn't want to go with this because we already have so much stuff that's already got gold in it, right? So I think we're just going to not do that. Now, let me see here. Maybe we'll just start working with some of our Van Dyke Brown here. Something like, keep it pretty simple. Keep it relatively simple. I don't know, I think maybe the violet just might be the way to go. I have multiple elven armies printed out. And of course, Ryan wants more people. Show up if you want to share stuff in the chat. Please go ahead and do that. Sorry, I haven't been able to get you those pictures. It was, it's another crazy day. I'll shoot you a message after the stream and stuff. And try to fill you in as best as I can on stuff. So Landress, those were looking really good too. Yeah, those are looking really good. I'm glad that you're happy about those, because yeah, those I think are coming out pretty darn good. I know it's a little extra work and all that, but they sure look good to me. So I was like, wait a minute, there was something that I was trying to remember there. At least the block party was more successful than we could have hoped for. For sure, way more people participated than we thought. We were a little bit worried that maybe there just wouldn't be a whole lot of folks, but I think I was there helping people set up tents and stuff at 10:30 in the morning, and I was helping them take them down at 1:30 in the morning. So that was quite the extended festivity there. Got to see a whole bunch of people's extended families. That was an unexpected thing too. Actually, Alberto, his son and I, we each had our phones out there, and he had the Illinois game, and I had the Georgia Alabama game, and that was pretty wild. Hey there, Horns fan. That was a crazy Saturday, wasn't it? And it almost got real crazy. Well, it all started when I was helping set up. That's when that was when Kentucky was taking down Ole Miss, right, Horns fan? Sorry, this is so late there, Horns fan, but hopefully, well, I guess we'll just have to do our college football Saturday on Thursday. But things are starting to get interesting, wouldn't you say, Horns fan? I think things are starting to get super interesting. You know what? It's just going to have to get moved out of the way here, that's for sure. Yeah, Horns fan, that was pretty wild. And again, it could have been even more wild. I just think every single, any given Saturday, baby, that is going to be the mantra now. You don't know what the heck is going to happen. And there was, well, actually, Alberto San, he was right with us. This whole idea that maybe teams like Illinois and, well, even think Kentucky, Vandy, Texas Tech, those kind of play that they're never really going to compete with the Alabamas of the world. And they say, you know what, why don't we just make our own conference? Yeah, Horns fan, well, we were all disappointed in that. We were very, very much disappointed in that. I mean, if you're going to make history, just make history. Instead of sort of coming close to history. So yeah, Horns fan, and this was just basically week 4, right? Well, week 5, I guess you could say. It's only going to get crazier as we get into October, right? And then I can't imagine what November is going to be like. Wow, and November used to just be mostly rivalry weekends. Now it's rivalry weekend plus. So that is going to be pretty awesome. So Ryan, thanks for being here too. Appreciate that. And again, well, if you want to share your stuff in the chat, that'd be great. Oh, that's right. The Council of Miniature Painters. Whew, that was a 4.5-hour thing on Sunday. Yeah, Armored Wolf. That was the other thing that made it difficult because, well, obviously I would have been filming during that time. So that's unfortunately I was not able to get the video for today. So it'll just have to be the first one of October. My apologies. Yeah, Horns fan, it's going to get pretty intense. I mean, it's already been pretty darn intense, and it's just going to get crazier. You know what? I'm gonna hit the ores with this same stuff for the most part here. Let's just do that. Maybe some of the asphaltum too. Maybe a little more of the thinner there. I don't want this to be as, it didn't have to be as pin line wash oriented actually. I'm going to hit the interior parts of the ore first. And actually I'm just going to hit this interior right here. So see you later there, Horns fan. Thanks again for being here as long as you could. Again, I'm sorry that this is so much later. It's a very chaotic day here. And tomorrow will also be very chaotic.
So say we all. So say we all.
Hey, oh geez, hey there, Queez. How you doing there, Queez? Nice to see ya. So Queez, I'm guessing with the, well, speaking of crazies, I'm guessing you haven't had a chance to play any 40k in months. Hopefully you have. Hopefully I'm dead wrong about that. But I have a feeling it's been a while. Well, good night there, Queez, again. Sorry this is so late. And, of course, say hi to Megan and the cats and the kids and everything for me. I know that there was a little bout of some flus and stuff making the rounds and making it difficult to try and keep the kids in classes and such. So sorry about that. Here's hoping that that also gets a little bit easier. So good night there, Queez. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. As always. Which no. We'll just stick with this for right now. I might even do a little bit of a little bit of pre-glazy, wiping some of this stuff off after a while, because we can do that. So actually, Ryan, if you wanted to post your stuff in the chat, we got some folks out there. If you want to share that. So yeah, Landran, that's going to look really nifty. I might have finally printed out the last piece of this that giant Easterling. Basically, it's like a palace type of thing. I think right now, I think it just finished with the last piece. I could be wrong. What was it that I thought? Oh yeah, that was Dol Amra. That's right. But I think this was the last one. Everybody, please check out that Instagram link that Ryan just posted. Fabulous oil painted miniatures. So again, my apologies. I knew it was going to be a crazy weekend between the whole block party thing. Oh yeah, and let's put it this way: if I had tried streaming, you guys would have been treated to a whole bunch of music, and I probably would have gotten a copyright strike or something like that, because that's how loud it was. Because the whole DJ thing was set up in the street right in front of my house. And also, that was another thing, is that because I had to scream over that, my voice, that I couldn't film yesterday also, because at least with the Council of Miniature Painters, I only had to talk a little bit. I might have maybe talked for a grand total of 10 minutes, not 4 hours. So that made it doable. But boy, oh boy, well, needless to say, I'm going to be using cough drops all stream here tonight. So again, Horns fan, have yourself a good couple of days there. Hopefully see you on the Thursday stream, which hopefully I'll just try and start that one earlier. Again, if there's family chaos or something like that, we'll see. But there could be some chaos here and there over now about the next 6 months or so. Yes, no, we won't be turning this upside down. Let's let those have a chance to set before we start turning this thing upside down. All right, let's get to this right here. Also, we got those things to deal with. Got these flag poles. Maybe we should just start messing around with those. Thinner. Again, I don't necessarily need to make this a pin line washi kind of a thing. So it's going to be a little bit heavier, a little thicker. So again, see you later there, Queez. Yeah, let's just keep going with this. Was again initially attempted to kind of do more of almost a greenish theme on this. But maybe we'll roll with something that's more of a violet type of a theme here. Okay. And I think, okay, that's it for that. Now, this stuff here, and we'll have to figure out what it is we want to do with it. Alright, let's put this elsewhere, and I might just see what I can do with these branchy things, which are supposed to be masts, but we're going to use the highly technical term branchy things, because, that makes sense. Here, let me actually get a little bit of the perline black in there. That's our dark green. Maybe we do have to go a little, okay, well, that's got a little bit more thinner in there than I was expecting. Let's see, yeah, that's an interesting approach to getting that information, right, 1,000 young? Yeah, that's probably, yeah, that's real interesting right there. Yeah, let's just keep going with this. And I'll only go a certain way, down the mast here, there, and I think I will just do the whole wipe some of this away, and we'll dry brush some other stuff on the top of it, such as it is. Now I'm gonna get me a little bit of the asphaltum in there. So this is from Printable Scenery, like all the Corsair ships were. And I did not print this one out. Any future ones you see, those, well, I will have printed those out. Okay, I can only go so far with this, so I have a place to hang on to this. I thought I had done all the way up the tree. Looks like now we've got it there. Yep, 1,000 young. That's definitely a Nobel laureate candidate right there, wouldn't you say? Yep, that's the stuff that Nobel prizes are definitely made of. Now, also gonna move this, and then I need to grab some paper towels here and get some of this stuff off of here, because that's just gonna get all over me. I might even just do that. There's a nice little handprint there, but I think I might actually just do this here while I do this here. Some of that, the perline black again, thinner again. I just hit this thing with the spray cans, right? The acrylic spray paint, like I've done before. Nothing terribly fancy. Yeah, that's the little there's something short right there. That's for sure. So again, it was a glorious college football Saturday. I basically had the pirated games on my phone, which was pretty much just in my pocket or whatever in my hand. People saw me walking around with that. Oh, and yeah, this particular block party also came with its own private air show. Since Andrew is, since he's with CPD, he was able to get some buddies to arrange to have a police helicopter make several flyovers during the day and then a very dramatic one at night. He turned on the spotlight and everything. And then the grand finale was basically flying sideways the entire length of the block. I'll have to get you the video of that, Ryan. Yeah, because I did get a chance to actually get some video on the helicopter maneuvers there. That was pretty nifty, and it was only if it was 200 feet off the ground, I'd be surprised. Might even been less than 200 feet off the ground. So yeah, Ryan. There was one point George Nancy said, "Hey, you got to come in here and have some of the pasta and sausage that we made." I had all this stuff that I was going to try and cook. I even started up the coals. Next thing you know, just everybody else is saying, here's food, here's food." So, well, I'll be making that tomorrow, since wasn't gonna quite get used on Saturday. I think we got everything on here. Yeah, okay. So let's just have that thing sitting there, and let's get this back to where we need it. Now, where's the bow section here? Okay. You just use this for this last little bits of stuff here. And there. And now with our dragon here, do we want to go... We wanted to go with a lighter dragon color there. I was thinking maybe... Here, let's get this stuff out of here. Well, we'll take that Payne's gray stuff. We'll mix it maybe with a little bit of the Perline black. And then we're going to get some thinner in there. And of course, this is the most fascinating part of every single stream. This is just absolutely riveting, of course. It's where we take our paint and we mix it with the thinner. Look at this. Yep, not every stream has action as riveting as that. Check that out. I mean, that's just... I don't know how people could possibly look away. Must be transfixed. Oh, thanks for sending that little notification there, Armored Wolf, because I finally got the email for that. So yeah, the Helm Hammerhand figure. So they are going to be doing, oh, what's her name? The person that had no name in the books, but will be named in the Hera, that's right. Yes. So that will be Hera and Helm Hammerhand. Both, I'm sure will have miniatures. And I'm sure they will be Forge World. Because reasons. I don't know, maybe we do it. Maybe the dragon should be... Well, no, I like the idea of the white dragon here. Well, we'll see how it works out. I'm kind of This might be an interesting change from that. Let's get this part here. Do we do the... Okay, I want to get all the all the way to the end of the wing here. So again, if the voice, well, I'm gonna have to grab me another cough drop because the first one's already gone. So we will definitely have to grab ourselves another cough drop here. Look at that, just extending all the way over here like a pin line wash. Let's get all the way down to his hands. that work its way down in there. Also here. Over there. Because we either go darker with this and then a very, very light with the purple. But that would be a little bit, I think, too much. Yeah, we could make this one very expensive and go cobalt violet. There you go. But as we found out, there are just way cheaper and better alternatives, really, ultimately, when you think about it. Alright, let me... there is some more left in here. I thought so. Again, still kind of a pinline washy sort of a thing. So see you later there, Ryan. Thanks again. Appreciate you being here. And again, Ryan, I'll shoot you a message, just kind of update you on stuff here. Because yet tomorrow definitely going to be a crazy day here. Let me hit this some more. And then I'm thinking the roof on the stern will be the same deal. Hey there, Lucetios, how you doing? Happy Monday or Tuesday. We still have some Monday left here. So we still have ourselves almost an hour of Monday left. So you Lucetios, I hope that you're doing really well. It's kind of, oh, you know what? That you just reminded me, Lucetios. Well, we'll show Grand in a second here. But it does remind me that I gotta look around and see if anybody's done Grand. I mean, like the real Grand, not the... There's some of these that are just like, it's a battering ram. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna roll with there. Let me just use this, spread this around. More of our blue. In here. We'll have to figure out what we're going to do with all the trim stuff there. I think we'll just maybe go with a... And even later. We'll let the roof scales be darker, I suppose. Now, with the boat here, let me get rid of you. So again, Thousand Young, appreciate you being here, and of course, again, you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead and do that. I'm just going to, where's my dioxazine fast? Yeah, we're just gonna roll with this here. Yeah, let's just put this in here and go directly to some thinner. Let's do that. Thinner. Let's move that over. And once again, begins the thrilling, absolutely thrilling mixing of the thinner with the paint. Because again, that's what everybody's longing to see on a stream. Is me mixing thinner with the paint, because it does not get more riveting than that. I'm sure just everybody is unbaited, but like they're just they have to look away from the screen. It's so tense. They can't bear to watch. Okay, there's that. Start getting the hull here. Now this is not the Williamsburg Egyptian Violet, by the way. Just so folks know. Because even, well, and again, I'm not using this, I didn't print this, so this is definitely not the black matte PLA. I mean, it could be something that's still matte PLA, but don't know. The original color was white of all things. I can't really flip this over to show you. Thank you so much, Armored Wolf, for showing the link to the YouTube channel and the Instas there. So there is a YouTube video sitting out there. It's one of our Morgul Knights that we painted. And we did, 19 of those on stream. Well, 18. And then another one was a tutorial video on said Patreon page. Okay, we did that. And then I'm just going to hit these, I think, with the violet as well, so that just starts to stain those. Remember, the anything with the alkyds in it does dramatically reduce staining properties. It doesn't really matter, because I wasn't really thinking of wiping that away. I would have hoped that these flags actually had some, what would you say, some kind of undulations on them instead of just being flat boards like this, but is what it is. Didn't really have time to try and create something else. Okay, let's get this off to the side here. Does this have any? Okay, it does actually have some wooden sections on it. Oh, by the way, we're only 35 minutes in. There's that. In goes that violet. So you can kind of, there's the weight down there. And I just used the Liquitex acrylic spray paints. That is not your regular spray paint kind of stuff. Because you can spray that on foam and it's not going to hurt anything. And, okay. The bow is going over there. Let me grab this thing here. So you can see the oars are not quite so shiny anymore. There's not a ton of the hull to do here, so hopefully we got ourselves enough violet just to do this. So I guess we will have to do an elven army that's got purple on it. As something wicked this way comes. That would be Wicked Minis. How you doing there, Wicked Minis? Thanks for the raid. Everybody, please give Wicked Minis a follow if you could. Follows, well, they're free. Last I checked, they were. So everybody do that. And of course, Wicked Minis, great to see ya. Yeah, you wonder what in the world is that? Well, it's Armada Mondays. What does that mean? It means we're painting ships. And, well, let me see if I can fit these both on screen. Because, well, you saw these being painted up. We did 3 of these guys. We did 3 of these Corsair ships right here. Now, let me see if I can superimpose just how big this thing is. This is half the size of this. This is one of 3 pieces. That's how big this ship is. Holy smokes. It is... I mean, I knew it was bigger, but I didn't realize it was quite that big. I mean, here's the stern section right here. There's one section of it. So glad that you're doing well there, Wicked Minis. And of course, here is the bow section, which we're actually going to grab here to do some stuff on. We got our violet in there. Got to figure out what we're doing with that area right there. So everybody, please give Wicked Minis a follow. Of course, Wicked Minis, if you want to share something in the chat, please go ahead and do that. So great to see you there, Wicked Minis. I hope that you're doing very, very, very well. No, that might be... okay, fine. Fine. But less of the thinner. Gotta make that less thinner there. So we're using the oil paints, as we always do. Now we're just trying to figure out what we want to do with the dragon here. I might also, well, let's see. I don't think we'll be taking a makeup sponge to it because I don't even know if I have any makeup sponges out here. I have some where I can't reach them, but over here not so much. We'll just roll with it and see what happens. So again, Wiki Minis, you want to share any links in the chat, please go ahead. I know you just finished that stream, so unless you skedaddle over to that photo booth, that could be difficult. I might also just hit... I think I actually did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe we didn't. Fine, we'll do this first. And then while it's on my mind here, I'll take some of the asphaltum, mix it with this other stuffs here. And we'll just hit this ram right there. So again, everybody please check out Wicked Minis Instagram post right there. Please give Wicked Minis a follow. So Wicked Minis, now let's see, I wasn't sure if you had finished the latest thing that you had been working on. Let me move this off to the side and let's get the stern back out here. Man, oh man, this thing is it is ginormous, that's for sure. You know what? I might try to roll with this. We need to go lighter, I think. I'm not going to do the radiant green. Actually, wow, heresy. Complete hair. There's no radiant colors out here. Oh wow, look at that. Complete heresy. So yeah, again, our Corsair ship, and you see the pieces of it there. That was for Corsairs of Umbar. Oh gee whiz, do we have our we do. Huh. So we did this Candish yurt here. I think I can grab it. This thing is so much bigger than the other ones that we did. The other one fits inside here. That's how big this thing is. So this was really fun. This was what our Friday stream. Yeah, this was our Friday stream right here. And where's our other... Whoops, I think I already passed by our... Well, I mean, we've been doing the Easterling terrain, and we've got a bunch more of that coming up. Where is my... there they are. So those seem so tiny now by comparison. Oh, thanks, Wicked Minis. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So again, everybody please check out that Insta link there that Wicked Minis just shared. I did try to do a couple of quick little AI references there that you can see down in the left and right hand corners of the screen. We're going to just roll mostly with the Pearly Black every so often. We might also throw in some of the Phthalo Green. A little bit of our violet is mixing in there. Now, the other fun thing that we have discovered is that the oil paint really soaks into... It really does soak into the, especially that black matte PLA. There is no primer on here, and there will be no varnish or anything like that. Not necessary. It is rendered unnecessary by the oils. And the oils, again, also will fill in the layer lines. They will fill those things in. Unlike the acrylics, which just have a tendency to just kind of sit on top of the layer lines and not go away. So I think this is starting to play out here. Let's do this. And here. And this. If it kind of wanders into the darker green, whatever. One second here. So it's getting a little bit more towards the green than I had originally envisioned, but it will, as we start to lighten this up, it's going to step back from that. One second here. And let's roll with some of this up here. So we'll get up to the dragon on the bow and do something kind of similar. You know, let's get a little bit of the darker green maybe. Let's get a little darker green with that. Again, just trying to set up some other stuff. Here's this. Okay. Over here. I didn't realize, yeah, that kind of spine goes all the way down. And there was no rudder for this either, which is kind of hilarious because all of their other ships, they do make a big deal about having rudders. Now, again, I don't have a batch of sponges to use, so we might just have to use the paper towels here. We'll just get rid of some of the excess there of our dioxazine violet. Alright. Oh yeah, we gotta get the front of this here. Hey Doji, how you doing? Sorry Doji, it's a little bit hard to see the chat there because the well, the camera's in the way. So Lucetios, just to check out the printable scenery and just look for the elf dragon ship. And of course, we're just putting in all the mid-tones and everything else. This is all going to get much lighter. I think we at least have... Yep, we got a little something on everything there. Alright, let's get back to our bow section there. So Doji, if you want to share any of your oil painted stuff there in the chat, please go ahead. Please go ahead and do that. And I might just go ahead and do that. I might take a little bit of this here paper towel, and we might just go after some of the excess here, just because. I don't know, I'm starting to almost like the darker stuff going on here. Now, Lucetios, at some point, I think I will have to get one of those fog machines, Lucetios, for doing the photography and the videos and stuff. Because that would be really, really fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, Doji, definitely go ahead and do that. Same thing. Hey, Lucetios, if there's anything you've been working on that you want to share or something like that, please go ahead and do that. Yeah, sorry about that, Lucetios. I'm like, what is it that I haven't asked? And then it was that. Sorry about that. So everybody, please check out that link. It's a Discord. Yeah, that Discord link that Doji just shared. So again, Doji, great to see ya. You know, I'm gonna go bigger here. There's a larger filbert brush. More of the fast matte white in there. Do some of this here. Over here. Yeah. Let's get some dry brushy stuff going on here. Just let those kind of mix together, I suppose. Yeah. Okay. A little more of this dry brush here. Also here. So I think, yeah, this is not what I was originally thinking of doing, but this is kind of interesting here. Again, we can always print it out again and try something different, but I kind of am liking this right here for whatever reason. It's just basically perline black. They'll touch a phthalo green in some areas, but mostly that and the perline black. And that's it. Let's get these the mass out of the way here. Way out of the way. One second. There's not a lot of space here for these. Let me get that over there. See you later there, Doji. See you later. Thanks for being here as long as you could. Appreciate that. So yeah, Lucetius, I don't know if, well, let's see, you probably haven't seen the Dol Amroth ship. It's one that I was painting as part of a tutorial series for the Patreon page. Let me hit this, yeah. We're just gonna start going with some lighter stuff here now. Just taking that fast matte white. See how I can just grind that in there? That is just not something that I can do with the acrylics, and that is the thing that allows this to get into those layer lines and just make them disappear. So yeah, that's getting to be kind of interesting there. Kind of liking that. So I can only go so far with the dry brushy type stuff before I have to get in just with the regular old brush here. So let's see if we can do this and get some lighter stuff going on here. So again, apologies for the absence there. That was not really supposed to be part of the program. Let's get the shore. Let's put some of that here. Would be easier. There we go. There, and let that just mix with the darker stuff that's already in place. Can't do that with the acrylics now, can ya? So you can see the difference. That side to this side didn't take much to make that change. And this is nowhere near as light as we can go. We can go lighter than this for sure. You would think, I mean, people wonder why I stream so late. You would think at 11:38 on a Monday night, you wouldn't have to be getting texts like, well, there's police behind your house. But apparently that's how things are. And now you know why we never get to stream earlier. Let that mix together. Yeah, you know what? We should let that also get lighter too. We start putting this up here. With all that mixing together, boy, it sure does make this terrain painting exercise a whole lot easier here. So much less work to do. Because all of this blending happens pretty much by itself. It's like the yurts, same deal. Those were a lot easier to do. Maybe I'll leave some of that be darker. Lighten this up now. Yeah, this wing too. Let's get this in here. Let me see just how light. And even this is not as light as we can go. We can go lighter than this. And let me hit this too. And then we'll see what this looks like compared to the port side. Yeah, I'll keep this as more of a blending brush. Right there we go. Again, makes all of that so much easier. So Sarge, if there's can you want to share anything in the chat? Please go ahead. And I guess Sarge, were there any other projects where you thought, okay, obviously you got the Tiger one going, but since there's no imminent deadlines, nice to see you there, Elite. So Elite, it's just a couple of reasons. First, there you can see all the little dots on here. Well, I was doing so much glaze because this thing is huge. There's 3 pieces to this, and I had to do so much glaze stuff there that it was spattering around all over the place, and it was getting on my hand, and then that was starting to get transferred all over the in the areas we don't want stuff to get transferred to. So I just thought, well, we'll put the paper towels down there. I think they could. Again, I don't think we'll be doing a whole lot more with the glazy stuff, so we'll probably be getting rid of those at some point here. So Elite, it was an absolutely amazing college football Saturday, and it's basically only week 5, so that is going to be it's going to be tremendous. It is going to be an amazing season. Let's do this here. Not too far, not too far. Because I like the idea of this, and then it gets into the darker stuff out here. So everybody please check out that Insta link that Sarge just shared. There. So hopefully your Tuesday is off to a fantastic start there. I think we're still on Monday here. Yep, we're still doing Monday here. So Sarge is it maybe a little bit less, but the super late days of work in there. I wasn't sure if the strike talk and all that other kind of stuff was going to have any impact in some weird roundabout way on you. Needless to say, I'm thinking about stocking up on some resin while I can. I think I might just get me some resin tomorrow. So just a little word there for folks that do 3D printing. Maybe yeah, don't go crazy because it all has expiration. At least as far as I know, printer resin still has expiration dates. But if you're really going to need a bunch over the next few months, maybe you're going to want to yeah, you might want to stock up a little bit. Now, I was wondering there, Sarge, and I wasn't even sure if there had been more negotiations or not. I just I didn't want to bring up that particular subject because I just remember how much fun you had with that last year. Yeah, you had an absolute blast with that last year, didn't you? And then I was wondering, well, maybe it wouldn't have quite the impact that I thought it could. Yeah, now I gotta just chuck that light on there and then push it around with the blending brush. So we got this on this side. Look a little bit different, doesn't it? So Elite, it was pretty amazing because Alabama was just dominating. They were just absolutely destroying them. They were up by almost 30 points in the first half, and then all of a sudden, with about 26 seconds left, next thing you know, Georgia was winning 30. I believe it was 34-33. Now this is in Tuscaloosa. And there was a major upset. We had the number 6 team going down to Kentucky, the team that almost beat Georgia. And this is why we love college football, because basically every week could be your last. The regular season is essentially 12 playoff games now. And that's what just makes it absolutely spectacular. Let's do a little bit of this here. Maybe not that blending. I got a different one over here. Let me see if I can track that one down. Oh, maybe this one. Yeah, let's use this here. That actually seems, yeah, that seems to work. It seems to work. We're getting some reflected light in here. Nope, wrong one. Let's just roll with this one for right now. And some more there. Up here. Back to our blending brush. So yeah, Elite, Horns fan came in and he said that they, I think they went something like 5 out of 6 or whatever. So instead of just this, firmly establishing themselves in history, they, sadly, they didn't, they didn't provide a secure grip on the worst team of all time. Although I think they can beat that next year. I have faith. I think they could be even worse next year. What somebody sent me some video where the few people that were in the stands, it must have been for the last game or something like that, in guaranteed rate field with the arrow going down. Did I not say that, Elite? Remember I mentioned that in the stream, that literally the logo on the stadium is a red arrow pointed downwards? So yeah, that spectacular achievement was sort of achieved. Again, could have been even better, but instead they had to win extra games that didn't matter. Boy, look at the difference between this and that. That is really funny there. Actually, boy, Otani, Elite, again, my camera is right in the way of where the chat is, so I thought you were going to say that he broke his humerus. And I'm like, wow, that's a big injury for the playoff there if Otani broke his leg. So it's like, wait a minute. Or, sorry, his arm there. Never mind. It's just like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. Let me try something here. Let me try this. Also, before I forget here, Just gonna toss some thinner on this. I want to get the Prussian blue. Ooh, okay, that's too much. That is too much. Maybe I should just stick more with a phthalo green. Ah, there we go. Something more like that. Although I'm not really, didn't necessarily show up all that much. And what the heck? We'll just do these last couple over here. So elite, yeah, we just call it the MFL now, the Mediocre Football League, because there are no good teams in there. There are absolutely no good teams there. Now we shall see what happens. Well, now that we're in the baseball playoffs, as we get into October here, we'll see if it. Yeah, and I guess there were no 100-win teams this year at all. Now I do think. Remember, Elite? I mentioned. Remember, Elite? We were talking about less games in your own division. Because obviously, with a team like the Sox that loses 120 plus games, usually a division winner in that situation would have like 120 wins because they would be playing that garbage team over and over and over again. Nice to see you there, Lady B. So unfortunately, yes, the Western Bulldogs did not survive very long in the playoffs. That was something that I predicted because, again, Hawthorne had sort of had their number pretty much all season. And the grand final was not very grand. It was very much like the replay of the drawn final many years ago of Collingwood versus St. Kilda, where St. Kilda lost by 100. We'll get back over to this side here. Working on the dragon prow here. So it won't necessarily be a white dragon, but it will be lighter because we are still going lighter with this. Now, Sarge, has the internet stuff finally started to act a little bit normal? Because I know that was always a bugaboo there. The internet would just start kind of going bonkers. It seemed like every stream, you'd be like, oh, well, okay, there goes the internet again. So, Lady B, hopefully things are going okay. Hopefully you've had a chance to get back into some of the miniature stuff. Let me get a little bit of the lighter. Not too much, though. Like we were saying, not too much of it. Where's Mr. Micro blending brush here? Okay, we will be getting some lighter stuff in here, too. And there. So yeah, the printing here has been Boy, we've certainly been doing a lot of it here. Well, look at how much lighter that is. Wow. Told you we could go lighter. That was not a joke. Look at that, and that we could still actually go a little lighter than this. Yeah, Surge, my phone has definitely not been doing what I would like it to do. This thing has just never been very good at all. But pretty much just rather have the one that I had before it. I think we were talking about that, weren't we, Sarge? Yeah, the last phone I had was actually pretty much better in almost every single regard than this one. But had no choice, right? If you tried using the old one, it would have just turned into a brick. So we had to get a new one. Yeah, boy, that really is starting to make it in. Again, look at the difference between that side and that side. I'm glad that life is relatively okay there, Lady B. Oh, back up here. Back up there to our light color again. Back to our... Let's get some more of our fast matte white out there, of course. Yeah, that's working out pretty nicely there. Yeah, and it was not the original plan, but I just sort of like that. And then we'll get some of our lighter violet over there, I think. After doing all of the wood texture on the Corsair ships, this is so different. Get some of that white back in there. Hit this a little later up here. So elite, yeah, there was the NFL was just kind of well, the game tonight. Well, there was two games tonight. I mean, again, could be worse. You could be a Miami Dolphins fan. So they pretty safely say sayonara to their season. I forget. Oh, let's see. What were the Jets? Oh, who are the Jets playing next week? I forget who the Jets are playing next week. But there's some teams that can kick 65-yard field goals, and there's other teams that can't kick 36-yard field goals to win a game. And Elite, they definitely have to get rid of that stupid kickoff thing. Because that is, I think that if they're going to do that, just eliminate kickoffs altogether. I'm not sure why they had two Monday Night Football games on. Not sure what was going on there. That's usually maybe the first or second week of the season, not the fourth week of the season. I wonder. No, we'll have to get back in with our darker stuff. They're free. Yeah, let's wait on that until we can get some of our darker stuff in there. So here we're just going to throw that on. Take the blending brush here. Expand on these. Get a little reflected light down there. what are we doing with Mr. Dragon? Head up here. What are we doing up with that? I don't know if we want that to necessarily be so light there. Look at that. It's like we have an eraser. So, yeah, Elite, that was pretty weird because then all of a sudden he was 8 for 16 with like 14 yards. So somebody must have caught a 20-something yard pass or whatever. So even the YouTube guys for the Bears game mentioned that Bo Nix was was it minus 7 yards? Right, yeah, minus 7 yards. Now, of course, they don't subtract sack yardage from things like, well, they subtract that from your running stats, which is weird. So, yeah, that's all. The Jets fans that thought, oh, Rodgers is healthy now, that obviously the expectations were back up again. I think they're probably not super happy with what transpired there. Now here, I don't know if we want to go necessarily quite as strong with the super light color there. I mean, in some ways, I almost count it as bigger than this because, I mean, we got the battering ram there, right? The that other Corsair ship, it didn't have something like that. It is just all straight up hull, and it's a big one. That is a large ship. Yeah, Elite. It'll be interesting to see what effect that injuries have, because that's one of the things in college is that typically teams build in a lot of depth, and you don't see that in the NFL. Teams are very brittle. Once you kind of get past that first string there, things start to drop off dramatically. So in a lot of cases with colleges, the so-called backup or even the third stringer would be starting on other teams. Is this? No, it is okay. It is about the same as what we have here. Let's work this further down. Got a little bit more difficult on this angle, just being right-handed. How light do we? Okay, oh, you don't get too light there. Nope. In fact, I'm gonna get back in there and take a little bit of that away. Remember, we can still go a whole bunch lighter than this. I like what we have over there. And here. So as light as this seems, oh wow, it's nowhere near our lightest light. We can go significantly lighter than this. Again, I'm going to have to use my eraser there. We'll keep rolling with this. here. Yeah, Elite, eventually things are just going to catch up with them. It happens to every single team. And sometimes it happens real quick. I've seen things be a gradual decline, and sometimes sometimes it happens real quick, like the Patriots, right? Thank you so much, Ghost Agent. Appreciate that. Is a whoa. Again, size of this is right. I do detect another slight flaw here. Yeah, that's a. I don't think that's very seaworthy. Sorry, not going to Valinor on this either. Thank you so much for that follow. Appreciate that, Ghost Agent. Now, what is going to happen here? Well, we can also, I think, move the paper towels here. Alright, well, not a spectacular roll, but he avoided this. That's what really matters, is avoiding the dreaded one. Now we'll go with the later stuff out here. So thank you so much, Ghost Agent. Appreciate that. Now that we only need 70 more. We only need 70 more to reach a rather dramatic number. It'd be pretty wild. Well, let's see what it'll be. A little over 4.5 years of doing this. Didn't suspect we would get that number there. But we only need 70 more. So we appreciate every single follow. And sometimes, obviously, Twitch does the unfollow thing, which is twitchy, but that's what Twitch does. All right, here we go. Gonna try and get some of this lighter stuff going on in here. Hopefully, boy, that's borderline too much thinner right there. Yeah, with the... Oh, and Elite, I don't know if you heard the story there, that the other team, that Tom Brady was down to 2 teams where he was going to go, and the Bears were one of them. And lucky for him, he didn't choose that. Because he might have been Feeney much sooner than he was. He certainly wouldn't have had another Super Bowl. Yeah, look at it. Yeah, sure. Let's see if we can't get some of our latest light back here on those. And I can still go even lighter than this. This is not as light as we can go. Bringing that all the way down to there. Yeah, a little more light right there. Also down here. What's happening with this here? Let's get this. So we're what? 1 hour 39 minutes in. And we've made some good progress, especially on something where I did not know what the color scheme was even going to be till I started putting paint on it. I had absolutely no idea, other than the fact that I was kind of maybe thinking this should be lighter. Like almost white. That's why I did those AI images that you see down in the corner there. Because, well, now that I've done some other factions, there's colors that I don't necessarily want to be repeating over and over again. Because as it is, we've got Easterlings, we've got our Dol Amroth, we've got our Corsairs. And then we're gonna have to start figuring out some rules for our Middle Earth War at sea. Let's see, what would that be? MEWAS. MEWAS. There we go. Yeah, that's what we'll call it, MEWAS. MEWAS, to me, I don't know, that's way better than MISBG. Yeah, I like Miswa way better. Or MEWAS, that's it, MEWAS. Now, of course, that might all be very I don't know how the new whatever GW stuff might interact with that. So yeah, that would have been if he had come here, he probably would have been his career would have ended on the field the same way Brett Favre's did with the Vikings, face down on a frozen college field. That was one of the weirder things. Because University of Minnesota, doesn't exactly have the largest stadium ever. I think it's Chefs and Saints, right? Yeah, that's another team elite, right? That's kind of taking a hard U-turn. I don't know if you probably don't remember when the Saints were really, 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 really bad back in the day, and they called them the Aints. And that was the thing where people would have paper bags on their heads in the stands. So yeah, that was he was one of those guys that hung on too long and definitely paid a physical price for it. Now we're gonna get this stuff off of here because that can't be on there. Because that is definitely gonna get all over the place. Might have to get some more of my fast mat weight out here at a certain point too, but let me see if I can get the really, really, really light stuff here. Boom, there we are. So thanks again, Hooligan. I do appreciate the sub, appreciate all the subs, the follows, the bitses, and the cheers. Because every single thing helps a lot. Especially now, again, that we might have to invest earlier in some more resin and stuff than I thought. The PLA, sadly, is still at the higher price. I was hoping that I could wait till, what is it, October 8th and 9th? Well, that's just a week away now. Here, let's hit this. Like so. There we are. Okay, no, we didn't go too light there. Alright, that's good. That's good to know. I was hoping not to make this necessarily too light, because if I want to put something lighter in the eyes there, you don't want to lose out on it. You know, I might, let me see if I can use one of these here. Is this softer there? So Elite, one of the things they thought was kind of more positive was that he wasn't exactly necessarily throwing receivers open, but he was missing fewer open ones. So baby steps, right? I mean, you look around the league, right? It could have been guess the mantra is it could have been worse. Could have been minus 15 yards at halftime. And it's just, I keep thinking of, yeah, Bo Nix was at, I know he was at Auburn. I don't think he transferred elsewhere. So we're getting our, some nice little sort of almost reflected light there on the dragon. We'll be coming back with some darker stuff too, actually. It's like perline black, that sort of thing. Did we get this latest stuff on here? I don't think so. Doesn't seem that way. Not either. Nah, that's not supposed to go there. Yeah, again, we're going to be coming back with that darker stuff anyhows. That was the perline black mixed with the Payne's gray, which is that ultra bluish Payne's gray. Not the almost purplish Payne's gray that you kind of typically see. Well, that kind of, there was a wee bit of thinner on that, I guess. Well, the other thing is the layer lines also kind of drew it out and then back down around again. So yeah, up here there's a lot, well, not layer lines necessarily, but almost a bit of spaghetti up there. So yeah, we'll have to come back at this with our dark again. Let me just try that right now, especially over here. So the perline black, the Payne's gray. Normally it would be perline black mixed with indigo. That's gonna go under here. So it sharpens that edge. There cannot be too much thinner in this, because boy, if there is, sayonara edge, just gonna go, it's gonna bleed in all over the place on the layer lines. Yeah, see that's help. Ooh, that does help down there. Wow, yeah. So it's this crazy balance of just enough thinner to make it flow easily, but not too much thinner. Yeah, well, that does. I think that really tightens that up. So yeah, Elite, at the last I saw of it, it was 15 for 15. I was wondering if, because they were getting all kinds of long, easy runs too, so he really didn't have to be chucking it all over the place. And actually, he caught a touchdown pass too, Elite. I don't know if you saw that. That's why in all that he only had the one. Oh, okay, you say the reception TV. Never mind. It's been a long time since I last saw one of those. Last one I saw was probably thrown by Walter Payton. You can really see how that starts to bring out. Look at how those scales just really start to pop out there. And we'll do the same thing, obviously, on the other side too. Bringing out all these scales here. Yeah, there definitely was, well, it was also a very dismal performance by the Seattle defense, that's for sure. Oh, and there was also a key fumble. That did not help. Try and get that right under there. That also here. Blending brush again. Into all that. Back toward darker stuff there, yeah. Also along here. Nah, not up there. Gotta get even thinner right along this line to separate those two. A wee bit of dark up there. Blending brush again on this thing. And yeah, alright, there we go. Now let's see if we can do some of that over here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that continues. One of the things that can happen in baseball is that a pitcher is just striking guys out, and he's just having, or a hitter just gets out there and he's just doing amazing stuff. He's hitting 450 or something like that. Then there's enough video on him, and they start to see what are the weaknesses, what don't they like to do, and then they start putting him in those situations as often as possible. And sometimes there's a precipitous decline in their stats. That needed a little more dark down in there. Now there's a whole ton of thinner in that, so I'm going to move a little separate batch over there. Also here. Get this going. A little something here. A little dark along that edge too. Yeah, fine. We'll just stick our hand on this, and I'm just gonna get some of my dark in there. Blending brush again here. Something like that. Dark on these things right here like we did on the other side. Gotta do the scales here. Almost forgot. Because that really made a big difference on this side. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, this is another area that we have to repair, is that line. Now I'm almost wondering. Well, I was gonna get, remember, some greenish color on the oars there too. So but I think we'll do that maybe on all the railings. Fine. So there's something under there. Okay, there we go. And now for the scales, just kind of redefining these a little bit. And this was done on an FDM printer, and again, it wasn't one that I did, so I don't know, what the resolution is. I'm pretty sure that I would have a little better resolution on mine. I'm still glad that ultimately I just had, the ones that I had that I got from Etsy, that I just got those. I think ultimately with those, especially what I'm going to use them for, it was actually cheaper and faster to do that. However, there's one thing that I got on Etsy, and I never really, unfortunately, with all the chaos that was going on at the time, half of the pieces were the wrong scale. Have no idea how that could have happened, but yeah, it would be like I've got this piece, and the next piece is about 7% too small. So, needless to say, didn't fit together. And I was just like, what in the world am I doing wrong here? Oh, I wasn't doing nothing wrong. I couldn't figure out what in the world was happening until it was basically kind of too late. You know what? Let me mess with the violet stuff here real quick before we get just too far into only the. Where's one of my filberts? It's not. There's one. Oh, better get some more violet out here too. I just realized we pretty much wiped it all out. Let's get these mixed together here. And I might even throw a little bit of the Mars violet in there so that it's not too intense of a color. Come on. And that's mixing right with some of the pre-glazy stuff we've got on there. Alright, while I have this, let me let me hit these other parts here with some of our violet here first. Alright. There is one faction I know is not going to have any boats. That would be our Candish faction. I was prepping some more Candish figures during the Council of Miniature Painters thing because I needed chariots that were going to basically work for things like the kings. Back to this lighter stuff here. Midships. This will happen fast. Literally just doing that. Back to this. Lighter. Here. Alright. Might even let a little of that sneak onto that portion. Violet and green makes, well, gray. So yes, we're actually starting to introduce a little bit of violet to some of this. I'm going to grab a little bit of this here. For this prow. Now, what's going on inside there? Maybe we try some of this. In here, again, a little bit of dry brushy stuff there. Some of the, okay, fine. Ooh, that's gonna be, yeesh, that might be a little too much, but let's just let it mix in with what's here and see what happens. No, that's, we can roll with that. Let's do this side now. Over here. What about the stuff? It's gonna be a little tricksy to reach that, so this is again another example of caress the brush, don't crush the brush, right? A little more into there. And we'll hit this area too. Something yeah, a little bit more of our lighter greenish gray in there. Might even go more with, whoops, okay. More towards the Payne's gray. A little bit less towards the green there. Yep, put some of that into here. So unlike the Corsair ship. There's no rigging for this one. I do have a whole bunch of lines and other stuff, rope piles that we'll have for the deck here, because I think that's you kind of have to have that. Nah, it's not quite going where we wanted it to. That's okay. We'll just come back in with our darks. Remember, we did that same thing on the dragon scales out there. Actually, we need to get a little something on those too. Yeah. We'll make that a teensy bit later. Blending brush. We'll hit this. Blending brush. Lots of layer lines right in that area there. Let me see what happens when we go with something a wee bit lighter also now on this. See how this works. Still using those miniature holders from Battlecraft Supplies, by the way. No way I could be doing any of this terrain without them. There would be no Mega Armada Mondays. Because the little dead paint containers that I was using were not going to be substantial enough for this. All I can do is just the 2 fingers on that. There. I think that's what we're also going to end up doing here on this stuff. And we'll try to have a little bit of over under there, I think, as well. See that's all just going to mix together. Thank you so much, Armored Wolf, for posting a link to the Patreon page. Our latest Patreon video went up a few days ago. That was, I don't know if it was our army painting series or if that was another. I think that was a terrain video. Oh, by the way, I was able to find all of those Nazgul and Fell Beasts. Well, not all. I found, I think, 3 of them. One was already assembled, but I still have to do all of the gap filling on that one. So we've got potentially 4 Nazgul that we could be painting. I've got a whole bunch of Angmar stuff. I have to start doing the basing on those. Let me get this here. With that same touch of our light that we did on the starboard side. That crazy prow just gets hooked on everything. Oh, by the way, this is not our lightest light. Just how effective we were at establishing those darks. Blending brush again. Again, that is not the lightest light there. Maybe we'll lighten that a little more, I think. Now we'll hit this with something that is much lighter. Yep, let's start getting some lighter stuff on this area here. So this is where one of those masts will go. Lighter here, I think, at least right about there. Now back to this for some of the reflected light here on these scales. It's maybe too light. Remember, we've got we will be doing some of the some of the blending brush on this to clean up some things. Too big. Too big. Let's use this one instead. I don't know, maybe we do go a little later with our... too much thinner there. Definitely too much thinner, so we just basically wipe that away. How you doing there, Arid? Thanks, Arid. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Everybody, please give Arid a Can't Wave a follow. And of course, Arid, if you want to post your Pinterest link there in the chat, please go ahead and do that. And I'm guessing that the usual Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time will be your next stream. So again, everybody, please give Arid a Wave a follow so you don't miss that next stream. Some fabulous jewelry there. And here, Arid, hopefully you're able to continue just kind of hammering away at all of the commission pieces too. So everybody, please check out that link, the Pinterest link there that Arid just shared. So thanks, Arid. Appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Here, let's take your blending brush to that. Something here. Back to our blending brush again. Boy, if you want to shout out Aridican Games, please go ahead and do that, Arid. So everybody, please give Aridican Games a follow so that you can join in on that birthday stream. So yes, indeed, that's going to be quite the event there. Now, did he also do a 12-hour stream on his last birthday? I seem to remember that he did a super long stream. So everybody, please give Aridican Games a follow as well so that you can keep Aridican Games company during that 12-hour birthday stream. So happy birthday in advance to Aridican Games. So here, this ship right here is just immensely larger than the Corsair ships that I was painting before. I thought it was a little bigger. I didn't realize it was a lot bigger. It's kind of ginormous. It's really, it's got 3 pieces to it, and none of the 3 pieces are small. This is from Printable Scenery, as the little logo in the corner would suggest. So if you want to get this, that's where you can get it. There are 3 sections, 2 masts. Oh, well, that's fantastic, Arid. And again, tell him happy birthday for me. And again, please, everybody, give Arid Can Games a follow so that you can do that on the stream. You hit a couple more lights along here. Oh, so here we did the block party thing, and it was far more successful than actually what we had hoped for. We had really no true idea what to expect as far as participation goes and enthusiasm and such. But I think I was pretty significant. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, it came with its own air show. As Andrew got one of his buddies in CPD to have a helicopter unit make several passes during the day and then a super dramatic one at night. Turned on the spotlight and everything, and then did a run down the street flying sideways. Which again, that was really fun to see that. Less than 200 feet above the ground too. You could almost feel the blades kind of ripping through the air. So that was extra fun. Actually, Lita got to play football for a few hours on Saturday. There was also the beanbag things. We're also trying to make the plans for next year. Hoping that we can convince at least one person to have their basketball net out there, so that we can maybe do a 3-on-3 basketball thing. Also, would like if it was one of those adjustable nets, we could actually have a slam dunk contest. Yep, Irid, I understand that. Yeah, I know those are. That's a pretty critical ritual each day, and that I understand. Especially when you're trying to wind down, right, Irid? That sort of thing is just, it really is super important. Actually, let me get some more of my fast mount white out here. Where the heck are we? Let's get a little more of this out here. Like so. There we go. And that is going to be, this is going to be extremely late. Wow, yeah, this is going to be way later. I thought it would be a little later. It's going to be a lot later. That's good. Because I was really hoping to bring in some nice heavy-duty highlights on here. Yeah, you thought we had gotten as light as we could get there. Nope, we can get a little bit lighter there. So see you when you're done with that, Arid. You know what? Let me see if I can't chuck a little bit of the light onto that side too. Okay, fine. We'll just have that go all the way into there. And now, on these, I can try and get a little spot of light in this area that is actually closest to us to make it more round. Top of this. So yeah, as of about, I don't know, 4 something this afternoon, this thing was still in pieces, and then I had to I was still printing out ores at probably about 6:30. Because, yeah, I thought all the parts were here. Only to find out, no, there's 8 ores that are missing. So I had to get those printed up real quick. Get them stuck on here, and then had to add some primer to all these extra pieces too. More of our lightest light here along some of these edges. Like down here. Also that. Yeah, we'll try and make that lighter as well. A little more here. Yeah, let's get this later. Just like we did on the other side. Maybe a little bit more light on that. What about the dragon head? Yeah. Also up here. Get me a little something lighter on that. Where'd my blending brush go? Is it you? Fine, we'll just use this. So again, we'll try to get some more of the violet in there too. I see another area over here where we need to get something lighter on that. Not going to do the rusty stuff, I don't think, on these the way we did on our Corsair ship for, well, obvious reasons. Let's see if I can't get you a little bit later there. Push this back around here. Wait. There. Fine, we'll try and get a little later line on the interior of this. Look at my hands are on that brush. We're not fooling around when we say caress the brush, do not crush the brush. We do mean it. And back to my blending brush for that. I mean, why would I want to do a bunch of layers here when I can just go like this, take this, string that down into the wet oils, and oh, look at that. and exactly how long did that take? That took a few seconds. Do the same over here. We're just going to chuck this on here. And then we'll just feather that out. That's all we have to do. Now, let me see if we can go with some lighter violet stuff here on some of the planks. Don't want to get too crazy with that, but there's some heavy-duty texture on these. Holy smokes. Yeah, there's some heavy duty texture on those. Let's see what we're doing over here. So about 2.5 hours ago, yeah, this is just a massive ship with no paint on it. It's significantly different now than it was just a couple hours ago. And remember, we had a little interruption too in the stream there, a rather unexpected one. Yeah, okay, that works. This stuff out here, I might just take the Mars Yellow Deep with some of the ice blue and just hit these ropes here. Nothing fancy, really. Come on, pull that down. I'm just gonna maybe throw a little something in here on the wood in a few places just to get some variation in there. Now what I might do, let me get to the sterno here. So we'll try and do what we did here, and we'll try to match that on the stern. Lighter. Let me just get this out of the brush here. Okay, well that little flagpole thing's gonna really be in the way there. Oh, here's hoping there. Here's hoping, Jet, that that's gonna work out exactly as you hoped. And that you can finally get all that stuff resolved, and then get back to just all the things that you would like to be doing way more. That's for sure. Gotta be careful here. Too much thinner, it will just seep all over the place. Which is why, we gotta do this deal here with the blending brush and such, so that we don't have to pile on a ton of paint.
So say we all. So say we all.
Thank you so much, Jet. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Jet. Thank you. So, Jet. Oh, here we go. Here's the bow section right there. Yeah, we'll be doing some more stuff on that. We just really wanted to kind of establish things there. Now we're trying to kind of bring all that back here onto the stern. And then there is a midship section with all of the oars. And we'll be hitting that too. So thanks, Jet. That's super helpful. Always. Yes, indeed. Okay. More up here on. Oh boy, it is tough getting the brush in there. But again, we just got a couple fingers on it, barely on the back end of that brush. Not too shabby, right? Able to keep a reasonable control on that. Hey, there's Surface Tension. How you doing? So happy Tuesday there, Surface Tension. I'm not sure if it's another day with that strange bright foreign object in the sky, or if it's more of a regular Welsh day with plenty of wind, plenty of wet, and of course that very special Welsh wet. Oh, and that Welsh gray, yeah. So surface tension, would you say that Welsh gray is more of a that kind of weird warmer gray, or would you say it's more of a cooler gray, like say our Williamsburg Paynes gray, or is it more like Windsor Newton Paynes gray? And of course, surface tension, you want to share your Mastodon link there in chat. Please go ahead. Actually, surface tension during that Council of Miniature Painters on Sunday. Amongst the dozens of figures I was prepping was actually some it was Tomb Kings and Bretonians from Raging Heroes, believe it or not. This is actually from it's from Printable Scenery. Printable Scenery. This is essentially an Elven ship right here. Right, where's our Corsair ship? So these are the ones that we've been painting. We did 3 of these, also from Printable Scenery. So this is for our Corsairs of Umbar. This will be most likely for, say, Rivendell elves. Not going to be from Lothlorien, I don't think. Because again, there's our Corsair ships for our Corsairs. Now, other thing that we did, I think this is what our Friday stream here. This is a monster yurt right here. This is from the Printing Goes Ever On. We're going to do a couple more of these in the different faction colors. So, well, that's Welsh gray. That certainly sounds like Welsh gray there, surface tension. It sure does. So everybody, please check out that link that surface tension will share, not the bot over there. Oh yeah, Elite. Again, I don't have a TV, so I'm not watching the games or whatever. And of course, unlike college football, I can't even see it on YouTube because of all the, what is it, NFL ticket or whatever. So I watch those. Essentially, it's almost like a live podcast of the game. And I get this going right in here, some of this later stuff. A little more. And he was talking, they had to go members only in the chat because there were so many bots. And they have something like 2 or 3 moderators. And they were getting hit so bad by chat bots that they actually had to go, basically into stealth mode almost. But check out that Mastodon link that Surface Tension just shared. Some fabulous oil painted miniatures. You know, I'm just going to go into our Perline Black with some of our bluish gray. That's the Paynes gray instead of the usual indigo. We're using the Paynes gray here. So thanks Armored Wolf for vanquishing said bot. But everybody keeps telling me that the bots are absolutely just insane now. Yeah, that definitely makes a difference here. Yes, indeed. Now, I still have to finish off that Dol Amroth ship. I printed out a new Dol Amroth ship. And, of course, I also have the that Easterling ship. That's going to require a wee bit of prepping. That one, there's a lot of stuff to do on that. I might actually save the sails for a separate stream because I really want to do a bunch of freehand on them. And the ship is actually more massive and more complex than this one is. Well, surface tension, what actually really is handy is the that darker primer mode really does work very well for reds. Because one of the bugaboos about the reds, of course, is that once you even have a little bit of the red on there, it gets very difficult to get more red on there. If you already start out with the darker primer method and then do the lighter dry brushy stuff, then you can kind of go into more of a glaze mode with this, we'll say things like the perline reds of the world and the quinacridone magentas and that sort of thing. Gotta be careful that there's not too much thinner on that. Let's hit this. I was gonna go with the orangey light on the portals, but now I'm just thinking maybe not do that. Oh yeah, we also have to get to this too. So I'm going to do this, then we'll let this have a chance to set. It's not going to dry, but it will set. That's where the, well, things like the radiant yellow mixed with the something like a fanchon / naphtha red with a little bit of the Indian yellow to make sure it doesn't get too peachy. That seems to work pretty well with the reds. Actually, well, I just did the Cornish hens, right? Yes, we just did those guys. And we were able to make short work of the reds on them. So surface tension, the block party definitely was a big hit. Hopefully we will be able to do well, 2 of these a year. That would be very nice. And what I have to figure out is a way to build a basically a temporary horseshoe pit. Hey, Angones, how you doing? Oh, it's almost back to the very beginning. Uh-oh. That's looking a little bit short there. Thanks so much, Angones. Oh, and by the way, remember this stuff here that we mixed into our medicine there? Well, somebody had a giant bottle of that. It's like, hey, have you ever heard of this stuff? I said, well, yes, I have. We've been using it on our streams. So that was pretty wild. See the big old bottle of that. Of course, didn't have my usual stuff, so I couldn't do my usual mix. Again, you have that with the cranberry or blackberry ginger ale. You got essentially a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that was super tasty. Yeah, well, let's lighten that a little bit with this, and then we'll do the really light highlights along certain parts of the surface there. Hey there, Artemichael. So Artemichael, I heard him mention you on the Council of Miniature Painters stream there last night, so hopefully that was fun to listen to. So again, great to see you. Now that's going to be, well, here, I'm just going to have to throw some more of my fast matte white out there. That's okay. Of course, Art and Michael, if there's anything you want to share in the chat, artwork-wise and stuff, please go ahead as usual. And well, we don't want to go too light on that since, well, it is sort of in the shadow of this here. I'll try and squeeze out a couple of these layer lines too while we're at it. Again, that's with the paint being thinner, right? That gives us a good shot at doing it, just like we did there. And so the acrylics would just kind of sit on there. Yeah, Art and Michael, it was definitely a Monday here, and it will be another Monday today for sure. Sorry that you got lots of Monday going on there. Now we've done that. Let's let me see if I can do this stuff with the Prussian blue. Either that, we just use this. See what we got going on with this stuff here. To almost try and again make that look a little bit like it's glass reflecting some light or whatever. Usually we kind of do that in the whole interior glow thing. But here we're just going to do something like this. And that will start to get gradually darker as it moves down. And you notice we never changed the color once. We let the paint that was on there also get on the brush. See that? So now we have a little transition thing going on here. Hey, Roadside. Nice to see you again, Roadside. Thanks for joining. Sorry to hear about that, Arda Michael. So, Roadside, I hope that you're doing super well. And as always, you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. Yeah, that works. Look at that. See, nice little transition there. So Roadside, this is one colossal ship right here. I think maybe you could say that the printing goes ever on ship that I'm going to be using for the Easterlings is bigger than this one. Because, well, this one doesn't actually have any sails or whatever. But man, it's at least 20%, 15-20% bigger than the Corsair ships we were painting. Drop that up there, blending brush, look at this. Again, see how easy that can be. That's good, Roadside. Now, Roadside, if you wanted to share that for folks in the chat to see or whatever, so they can go click on that. Want to share that? That'd be fantastic. Let me get the dark in there. So Arda Michael, I printed out, I think Gloomy Gulch was also, yeah, Gloomy Gulch was part of their stuff. And they're basically their version of, well, either Dol Guldur or Amon Sul. Either way you look at that. I think there's actually still one piece left. I basically had to print some ships before I could do that, because otherwise we would have kind of run out of our Armada Monday stuff. So everybody please check out the Insta link that Roadside Miniatures just shared. I know they have some dwarf stuff too. I forget what some of the other. Their Hobbit stuff was. Well, I already have some really nifty Hobbit stuff, anyways. And then I also have some Hobbit stuff from Printing Goes Ever On. So pretty well set on Hobbit terrain. Actually, Artemichael, I was wondering if I could use, well, the typical stuff that people use for making spiderweb decorations. If I could use that for, spider webs hanging from the trees, right? And if there's enough of it, maybe that becomes playable, right? Where you could actually be up there. Or at least the spider could be. Again, everybody, please check out that link. It's an Instagram link there that Roadside Miniatures just shared to check out the double object source lighting effect. Because those can be super fun. I know we got one over here somewhere. Yeah, this one here. Right, that is always a blast, right, Roadside? Now, I have to actually get some more stuffed animal stuffing so that I could make the usual flame marker type things, right? I know I brought that stuff out into the garage, but that got kind of buried. So I have to sit there and be searching around for all that. So surface tension, I wasn't sure if you have, if you're imminently going to be going on another one of those journeys there. I know you had mentioned there was a possible time frame you'd have to do that. Good, not too much thinner in that. So again, everybody please check out Roadsides with a second attempt at multiple light sources. Let's see what we want to really do with this. Where's my blending brush again? I knew you had a place there. I couldn't remember where. I know we were talking about just how much potential time you might have to actually see some stuff there. Outside of the work purpose there. Yeah, we gotta go gentle with the grip on that brush. Caress the brush, do not crush the brush. Have at it this way. And remember, we can go lighter than this. We're just chucking this on there, then taking our blending brush, pushing that around like this. Where's another one we could use? Nah, don't know about that. We'll just use this one. What the heck? There, see that? All of a sudden, those become much more like a smooth blend. And again, I'm not gonna really mess with the banners here. Mostly because to do those, I really need to let everything else dry so that I actually have a place to stick my hand there. That's going to be fantastic. So that's in the Andalus region there. I'm guessing surface tension must be. Wow, that is definitely lighter. than what we were just using there. Holy smokes. No doubt about that. I'll try and get some of our light here on the door. Ah, that's what we needed. Just like that. Not too much thinner as always. Not too much thinner, gotta be sure. It's thick enough so that it won't just be spread out all over the place. It's not as much of an issue, say, on a resin print or whatever, but this again, this is an FDM style print, so that's gonna have a big impact. It's ironic because having a decent amount of thinner in there also does allow you to really fill in those layer lines. Get this up on top there.